Hello there guys, RMP792 here, and this is part 2 of the Star Wars The Force Awakens vlog. Where was I? New cast. Yeah. So yeah, I really liked the new cast. I genuinely liked the fact that very much Rey is the main character. And don't get me wrong, Finn and all the rest are very important characters, but this really does feel like her story. In much the same way that the original Star Wars film was Luke's story. But it had all these cool characters in it and around him, and they absolutely count as main characters. But it's genuinely nice to see a film that has a bona fide female lead, and she's absolutely great at it. She's funny. She's enjoyable to watch on screen. She's just got a really great energy about her that I really like, and yes, she absolutely carries the film, and she does a good job of it. At the same time, it's also very much Han Solo's film, because once he turns up, he's very involved in absolutely everything, and the big massive spoiler alert that I can't believe didn't leak. I'm pretty sure it was one of the ones that people suspected. Because let's face it, there was loads of people who seemed to think that Luke was going to turn out to be Kylo Ren, to which my comment is, guys, we knew who was playing him. But yeah, the fact that he was actually Han and Leia's son, okay. I'd like to get a little bit more backstory on why he turned to the dark side, rather than just the whole, oh yeah, Supreme Leader Snoke did it, that's why he's so such a badass. And as I say, Ren came across as a petulant child with daddy issues, frankly. But that sort of worked. And let's be honest, the scene when Han's going towards him on the bridge, I think everybody in the cinema at that point knew that Han was dead. Let's be honest about this. And my comment, and when I came out of the film, when I was talking to a couple of the people I went with, was, at that point, the only question was, is he going to get force choked and thrown off the thing, or is he going to get stabbed and fall off the thing? Or is it going to be force choked and then stabbed and then fall off the thing? Though, as soon as he was walking out onto a narrow bridge over a bottomless drop, you knew he was going down there. Because otherwise there was absolutely no reason to set it over a bottomless chasm. Other things on the character front. Leia. Underused a bit, I think. And I dislike the fact that she's clearly not bothered taking up her Jedi training in any way. Even if she's become a general, I actually, again, the friend I went with had this idea that, she'd basically be using the Force to, help guide the troops, which, if you've not read any of the Extended Universe stuff, which he hasn't, is actually a Force power in the Extended Universe known as battle meditation, which is basically where a Jedi or a Sith or some Force user uses the Force to basically enhance their allies and detract from their enemies. So, they make the enemies confused and they make them not work as well together, while they bring a greater sense of unity to their allies, so that they pull off impossibly complex maneuvers that require 3 ships acting in perfect unison together, and they pull it off because the battle meditation is basically making them work together better as a team. That would be a great thing for Leia to do, to have her basically be supporting them at a distance, and that would make sense if she's now their general, if she could use battle meditation. And the thing is, he hasn't, the friend who suggested this hasn't actually read any Extended Universe material. So he came up with that idea pretty much off the top of his head, and he's right, it would make sense. So because instead what Leia basically does is sit there and not do a lot during the final battle, which is a bit disappointing. 3PO and R2 didn't need to be in this movie, I've got to be honest. And let's face it, there's been so much speculation on the internet about why 3PO has a red arm. There's a throwaway line in the film that it's basically down to, with a couple of these, you may not have recognised me with this new arm. I really must get the old one back. And that's it, that's all we get. Okay, it's a cute throwaway joke, but I didn't feel like they needed to be in this film. As I say, rather than have the R2D2 Ex Machina, where he's got the rest of the map and he's suddenly, and he's been sitting not doing anything for ages, because we weren't entirely sure what was going to wake him up. My assumption was that as a result of Rey basically awakening to the Force, to use the title, because she's realised she has the power of a Jedi, then R2D2 is basically woken up because there's somebody who genuinely needs to find Luke. Which, the question is, how would R2 know that? But as I would have preferred it if they'd basically been going to, some base, where they've got Rey in order to get the rest of the map, which they, the fact that they got effectively the rest of the map from the remains of, the Empire, fine. That makes sense to me. Because, say what you like about the Emperor, but he did like his meticulous record keeping. And that, as I say, I think the last act basically needed a major rework, in my opinion. Just get rid of the unnecessary stuff. Characters who are clearly going to turn up again. General Hux is going to turn up again because he clearly made it out. Captain Phasma is going to turn up again because Gwendolyn Christie's pretty much already confirmed that. Which, as I say, they massively underuse her, which is a pity because she's she's a good actress, and B, she is a massive Star Wars fan. It's been really great seeing the interviews with her where she's so happy that she's in a Star Wars film. It's kind of wonderful. And it's kind of another plot point that I found a bit weird: the fact that the Falcon's just been sitting on this planet, and they just conveniently happen to find it. It's a bit sort of And again, you can hand wave it away with will of the Force, destiny, da 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 da. So, though I'll admit, when they're running towards the ship they want and it gets blown up, and then they go, and then they say, but that thing's a heap of junk. And at that point I went, it's the Falcon, isn't it? And it's weird seeing someone else pilot the Falcon, but she pulls it off in a way that okay, fair enough. She is worthy to inherit the Falcon. The question I have is, given that they've really made sure to show that she was left by her parents on this planet, and they said they'd come for her, I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that in the future. I'm actually glad they didn't do anything with it here. Because I'm half expecting it to turn out to be, Luke's daughter, or maybe Kylo Ren's sister, or something like that. And I don't think it's necessary. It really, in all honesty, I'd prefer that she was just a person who is naturally born Force sensitive and has the potential to be something more. We don't need all the constant family bloodline stuff. Because blood is not what makes a hero. Which I actually really like the fact that Finn clearly has no idea how to be a hero, but he really wants to be. So it's things like when he sees Rey getting attacked by those scavengers, and he runs forward to try and save her, and then he looks kind of disappointed when she just kicks their asses and saves herself. So that, as I say, I like that, and it does genuinely give them a great dynamic. Again, no, the actors had really good chemistry, and I would never deny that, and they are really well written. I like the interactions that they have. So genuinely no complaints on that front. Running out of things to talk about at this point, I think. I'm 25 minute vlog so far. What else? What else can I think of? This is the problem with running on 3 hours of sleep. As I say, I did genuinely enjoy it. As I say, third act has problems, but other than that, it's a genuinely good film. Oh, the ending, where Finn has been wounded, so she leaves him behind. She and Chewie and R2 and I can't remember, did BB-8? Can't remember if BB-8 went with them or not. I don't think he did. And they mount up on board the Falcon, and they fly off to a planet that's meant to be the home of the Jedi. So, Tython, They might change the name, but at the end of the day, even if the extended universe isn't canon anymore, there's I'm gonna call it Tython for ease of reference. So and the last shot of the movie where she's just kind of holding Luke's lightsaber out to him, and from the initial text crawl where it's Luke Skywalker is missing, I was thinking he's going to be in like one scene of this film. If he has more than one line, I'll be surprised. And I was right. He doesn't have any lines at all. He has a sort of meaningful look at the end. That's it. And I'm kind of okay with that, because effectively the whole film's about finding him, and now that he's been found, we're going to go on and do different stuff in the next one, which I'm okay with. As I said, a lot of the stuff here feels like setting up things they want to do in future, which is fine. Again, if you're doing a trilogy, the standard rule of trilogy writing is first part is where your heroes come together and then they overcome some adversary but don't completely defeat the enemy. So it's blowing up the Death Star in the original Star Wars. It sets the Empire back, but it doesn't defeat them totally. Second part is where you push your heroes to their limits by facing a new threat. And third part is where they all rally and eventually finally defeat the big enemy. That's the standard rule of trilogy writing for this kind of genre. And that's clearly what they're doing. So the Starkiller base was the immediate threat, but the First Order's not defeated totally. And Ren's going to get stronger because he's going to get more training from Supreme Leader Snoke. Weirdly, the effect on Snoke was one of the things I was less happy with. Don't get me wrong, it's good motion capture stuff, because let's face it, it's Andy Serkis. But again, it's the practical effects are really damn excellent. And all that does is make the CGI more obvious when it's there. It's the same problem with the special editions of the original films. You can always tell what's a CGI critter that George Lucas added in later, because they just don't quite mesh. They're close, but there's something off about them. Because as a general rule of thumb, CGI works best when it's enhancing something that's already there, rather than creating something from the ground up. So yeah, I don't really think I've got anything else to say. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's definitely the best Star Wars film to come out in my lifetime. It's certainly not Empire level. It's probably Jedi level. I put it this way: I think I'd be confident in saying it's about on par with Return of the Jedi. Which is, don't get me wrong, I love Return of the Jedi. So I suspect this is going to be one of those things where we'll have to see how it all spools out after they've completed the 3-episode trilogy. So, see you in 4 years when we'll know for sure if they could stick the landing on this. But for now, I enjoyed it. It was good time at the cinema. No complaints on that front. And yeah, if you've seen to this point in the video, you must have seen the film, because I did warn you about the massive spoilers. So, yeah, I think that's it for now. So, until next time, unless I come up with anything else I want to say, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in future videos.